Okay, so apparently DJ Akademiks made the headlines once again after his ex-girlfriend calls herself coming to social media and exposing him, right? And here's what I have to say about this, and I know this about to come out the wrong way, but it's my opinion, right? I think as women, we need to stop giving guys a chance that we can see them coming a mile away. Okay? We can see DJ Akademiks coming a mile away. Okay? And when I say that, that's not a jab at his weight. It has nothing to do with his weight, because I believe it's big boys out here that are sweet guys. I really do. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. Gerald Levert. Never met him before, right? But I think the pictures I saw and the music that I've heard, I could just tell he looked like he smelled good. He looked like he know how to treat you. He just looked like he was an all-around good big guy, right? So I'm going to be honest with you, based on my experience with, I've never dated a big guy before. I talked to one big guy. He was Caucasian, okay? But, and I maybe it is, but based on the guys that I went to school with, most big guys have a big boy syndrome. Did I say all? No. But a lot of them do. A lot of them do. But that's a video for another day, right? When I say the big boy syndrome, I mean like kind of like a little man syndrome, where they feel like they have to overcompensate for their weight, right? And I'm going to go more into detail in another video when I say that, because they feel like they have to overcompensate by extra personality, extra opinion. They have to show you who they are, because they may feel like you may not want to mess with them because they fat, basically. So I do feel like DJ Akademiks have that, that big boy syndrome, where he feel like he has to do the most to get noticed, because the average female probably will walk right past him because he knows he's not a looker. They feel like they have to spoil you with gifts and money, and, or they may feel like they have to be the loudest person in the room, or they feel like they have to make you laugh, which I do love a man that can make me laugh. But it's like they have to do extra because they want to show you that, hey, I'm that dude. And, kind of like a little man syndrome. But to me, I can't speak for another woman, but for me, what attracts me to a man is not saying nothing at all. Just being quiet, making me laugh, being there for me, just being a solid spot for me. Like, that's what does it for me. But for the next woman, she may like a loud guy. She may like the hoolin' fat type of guys, right? But for me, it doesn't do it for me. But again, I can't speak for the next woman. Now, okay, going back to the ex. I saw a little clipping of the video. I'm not going to lie, I did not see the whole video. I don't plan on going back to see the whole video, because I feel like this, y'all. I mean, we have constant videos floating around on social media where DJ Akademiks has went in on all types of women. And to me, I'm going to be honest, from my perspective, I feel like he's a sissy. Undercover sissy. That's how I feel. Because I feel like men that know who they are and that are in love with women, they don't constantly bash them as much as he does. Like, to me, I feel like either he want to be a woman at the end of the day, or he's still channeling his inner Boosie, where he hasn't really came to terms with who he is. Just, you catch my drift. You know, I'm not gonna watch that video. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I listened to all his videos. Da da da. Basically, the clippings that I saw, I just don't care much for him. It's I feel like, why do y'all keep kicking it with him? DJ Akademiks, to me, he's the type of guy that you should see coming and you should just keep walking. He's the guy to be like, hey ma'am, can I talk to you for a second? Oh, I'm busy. I gotta hurry up and get back to work. He's that guy. You tell him, you act like you don't. Y'all, it was a guy in the store loud one day. I told y'all that story. Not too long ago, I had on my suit. I really was on my lunch break though. I really was. But even if I wasn't, I would have acted like I was, right? And for the minute I walked in the store, he was trying to catch my attention. It got so bad, he got louder and louder to the point where the white lady was just like, ma'am, he's calling you, but I knew why he was calling me. That was on my way out the store. And my dudes was just like, I told her about it. She said, you just didn't want him because he worked in the bakery. I said, no, Ma. She said, I know you. You didn't want him because he worked in the bakery. So I said, Ma, don't be pulling my card like that, But look, okay, I just don't like that loud shit. I just don't. Like I told her, I said, I don't like loud guys. She said, and I know you don't like broke ones either. I know you. So it is what it is. I say what it is what it is. But anyway, nonetheless, I mean, how many videos do we have out here of him bashing women? I mean, then y'all give guys like that a chance, and then when they do some slimy shit, y'all coming to social media, call yourself exposing them. I mean, duh, he's been bashing women for a long time now. Duh. How many women that came to social media talking about how he done treated them when they came to his house, or some slimy shit his homeboys did? I mean, how many times do we have to tell y'all, be careful of the guys that hang out with other slimy guys? Birds of the same feather. I don't care how much people say, oh no, I'm not like my boys, da da da. Y'all have something in common. It's no way that I'm about to go to a mansion with a guy, I don't care if it's his house or not, where I know other slime balls are going to be frequenting and floating around. I'm not going. You want to spend time with me, you're going to take me out first. Broad daylight. Ain't no pick me up at night shit on the first date. Fuck that. You're going to take me out. Breakfast. We're going to breakfast. And I'm not driving with you there. We're going to take out 2 separate vehicles. Because if I don't like the way it goes, I need to be able to grab my keys and grab my purse and go. And that's the way a lot of you bitches should carry it. But a lot of y'all have other agendas, which I don't blame you if that's what you're going, if that's the way you're going with it, but play your cards right. And if things go left, don't tell us about it, because you knew you had an agenda anyway. So, it is what it is. Y'all catch my drift, okay? It is what it is. I understand. Not that don't make you a horrible person, because he got shit with him too. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, keep it off social media. Y'all already know what is given with him. He's a mouthy guy. He talks a lot of shit. He bashes women. He has a fat boy complex. And that don't mean all of the fat boys got complexes like that, because no, they don't. Some of them, I give you an example, like Gerald. They big. They look like they smell good. You could tell he smelled good. I could just look at him. He looked like he smelled like nice, expensive ass fucking cologne. He looked like he did. And a lot of them don't have the machinery that they should. A lot of big boys don't. Some do, some don't. I'm going to just say it, the little dick syndrome. Some do, some don't. So they feel like they have to overcompensate for that with, extra shit. But like I said, you don't have to do that. Just be cool. Just be smooth with it. You don't have to do all that. But and DJ Akademiks don't even look like he smell good. He look like he smell like sweat. I never see him try to fix himself up. It's always with that the bald cap, whatever they call them hats. A sweatshirt. He don't look like he try to put any effort into himself. Look at Gerald Levert and look at DJ Akademiks. You'll see what I'm saying. Like, put on some slacks. Put on a nice shirt. Put on some loafers. And if that's not who you are, that's fine. But, put a little more effort into it. Look a little more smooth. Don't look like you going to the, the football game or, the field all the damn time. Look like you're going to an event. Does that make sense? Put a little more effort into it. You want bitches to care about you. You gotta look like you care about yourself. You want to look like you just, going somewhere deep, nice. Don't look like you about to go out with the boys all the damn time. You don't even look like that. You just look like you going running errands or something. Like, you going to the store or something all the damn time. Like, I'm going to give you another example of a big boy that DJ Khaled. Get on your DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled look like he smell good. He take baths and, he put a little effort into himself. Get on your DJ Khaled. Just even Rick Ross, sometimes you see him put on a nice blazer or a nice jacket or, he look like he put a little effort into himself. He don't always have on them white beaters and that stuff. Sometimes you see he put a little effort. Pick up on yourself. Yeah, you short, you fat, you a little stout, but hey, you be that short, fat, stout. You be that nigga. Like you look good, you smell good. You put a little effort into yourself. Don't just look like you just rolled over out of the bed and just put on jeans and a sweatshirt and a cap. Hey, and then grab the mic and get on your platform. No. You be that fat boy on that platform that just look good. He couldn't tell me shit, y'all. He couldn't tell me shit. He couldn't tell me nothing. Nothing. He really couldn't, because you talk all the damn time. You never shut up. Every time we hear you, and he probably got a nice coin with him. I mean, I really was too through when he said he liked young girls or so. What he say? Just talking to hear himself talk. Y'all talk that shit up here. Then soon the cops come investigate your ass and lock your ass up. Then they don't want to see a black man win. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Shakana. But sometimes it seems like she contradicts herself, right? Now, all of a sudden, you saying that T.I. and Tiny blackballed you or has you blackballed from the industry, right? But it's just really hard for me to believe you, because you was with them for so long. You was running and ripping with Tiny for so long. So it's kind of like this for me. These people just so this and that. They just so horrible and just such a bad influence, and they just want the worst for you so bad. But for so long, you was their friend. You knew the stuff they was involved with. You knew the stuff that they got into. Now, all of a sudden, Mad Day came, and they just don't want to see you have any money. They don't want to see you win. Which one is it? Okay, y'all. So here's what I have to say about the situation, right? So first and foremost, if you are supposed to be Wendy's friend, right? Her good Judy, her confidant, her rider, why on earth are you telling us Wendy's business? Okay. Now, I know people were saying, well, technically she didn't tell her business because she didn't say what was the name of the property. She didn't say da-da-da. And see, this is why a lot of the times rich people don't like regular friends, right? Now, I'm going to say this. If God ever blesses me to be in a situation where I become extremely wealthy, I would definitely, I'm going to say it, I don't know if I would want normal friends. I don't know. If I feel like this, if we didn't grow up together, or if you weren't there from the beginning, I don't know if I would feel comfortable enough with having you in my circle like that if you weren't there from day one, because things like this can, happen. And to me, to be honest, the older I get and the more education I get under my belt, I kind of see why when people say you have to surround yourself around people that fit your future and not your past. Because things like this, right? For me, the older I get, even with I'm not dating right now, but when I start back dating, he has to have more than me. He has to have more than me, because the thing is, stuff like this, right? Under no circumstances, the chick proclaims, right? I'm trying to be careful with my words, right? The chick proclaims that her and Wendy have the type of situation where if they don't hear from each other in a certain amount of time, they check on each other. This is my thing. I'm going to be honest with y'all. First and foremost, I didn't know Wendy Williams had friends. Where were you when they were taking advantage of her money? Where were you when Kevin was out here treating her like a dog? Because I don't know about anybody else. If I knew or even suspected something going on with my good Judy's husband, I would definitely be in her ear. Y'all, when I tell y'all, we are living in a world where people hate hearing the truth. Like, it's sickening how much people, they hate hearing the truth. And it's like, as soon as you tell people the truth, it's like they get mad, right? So, check this out. So, I was on the phone talking to a family member, right? And, long story short, I was telling this specific family member, don't do me, I know I got a speech problem. Anyway, how, let's just say I'm starting a new endeavor, right? And I was telling this family member that, I'm just going to be better than people were to me, right? And for me, that's something very important, because I don't want to turn into the people that traumatize me, if that makes sense. Now, oftentimes when people hear the word traumatized, they think like on some scary movie shit, like you're just on your knees, like on some Carrie movie shit, like just in a fetal position. When you hear the word traumatized could just mean a bad experience or something that hurt your feelings or something that you're still healing from. It doesn't have to be something really huge, right? So the thing is, I'm just like, I'm going to be better than that. I'm going to be so much better than people were to me, right? So I'm talking to this specific family member, and I'm like, I'm going to be better than that, right? So when I become a boss, I'm going to know how to treat my people. I'm going to know how to talk to my people. I'm going to, treat my people with decency and respect. And, for me, as long as you know how to respect me, I will respect you in exchange, and we could be fine. But if you disrespect me, then that's a different story. Then we're going to just, then we'll go from there, right? But for me, I'm going to listen to my people. I'm not just going to listen to one side of the room, right? I don't care if it's 5 people over here and 1 person over there. I'm still going to listen to what that 1 person have to say, right? I'm not going to be that way. I'm going to, I'm not going to be dismissive of my people. I'm going to, treat my people with a level of respect and morals, and, I'm not going to allow bullying and, and stuff like that, because the good thing, like I always say, the good thing about going through stuff young, you learn so much about the world and how people can be, not only in school, but on jobs. And the little slick, conniving shit people will do, and they'll get away with it. And if they really good at playing the game, they can really get away with it. And by me experiencing certain shit, I know the little tricks people will do. Like, I'll give you an example, right? And so once upon a time, I was working a job, and let's just say I was going my own speed when everybody else was, I guess you could say going the speed by the book, meaning you have to go a certain speed, but me being me, I was taking my time. So I guess you could say the average person to say moving slow, right? So long story short, bitches and motherfuckers started picking, just saying, black people, just saying. And by it being so many of them and only one of me, they knew how to play the game, right? Because the average person on the outside looking in is gonna say, oh, she's the problem, because it's more of them than her, right? So long story short, my dudes always told me, pick the ring leader, right? If whenever you gonna fire back, always get the ring leader. So me being me, one of the bitches had left, but her good Judy's in them was still there. So me being me, I finally said something because I had kept letting it slide for so long. I was tired of it, right? So long story short, we had words. I was fussing with them, going off on them, right? So they told the head lady, they said this particular boss was different. One boss that I say she wasn't like the rest. Well, I've had other bosses like her, not many, but she was different, right? So they told the lady, look at the camera. She was going off on us. They told her, run the camera, because that was one of my old night jobs, right? They told her, run the camera back from 12 o'clock a.m., because remember I told you a night job, until like 2 o'clock, right? So that between those hours, you could see me going off, right? So her being smart and actually, knowing how people do, she was like, so why 12 to 2? And they was like, because you could see her going off, So the average person would just click on 12 to 2, right? So she was like, nah. That's not what we're going to do. So I told her, I said, they're going to try to get you to play 12 to 2 so that you can get the response, right? But I want you to get it from the beginning, right? So she said, don't tell me how to do my job. I already know how people are. I know how people are. I know how people do, right? So she had them these particular cameras had audio. As we know, all cameras don't have audio with them, right? So she had them pull the cameras from 10. Mind you, that was the beginning of the shift. So I told her it didn't really start around 10. It started around like 11, like 11:15, 11:20, because it was like around break time after we got back doing our first round. You see what I'm saying? It came around that time period. So then she was like, okay, so I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna put some time to the side, and I'm gonna put right on that time stamp where you told me. So she pulled the time stamp, and she told me not to say nothing, because she was gonna do it. She didn't want them to, have time to get together and put their story together. You know how people will do, right? So I ain't say nothing. So that's when she pulled back the camera and she saw what I was saying. So they didn't say nothing about what they had said. They only put what my response was. And that's what I was telling my family member. I'm like, I'm gonna be that type of boss. right? Because by me working jobs, I know how people can be. You see what I'm saying? And I see how important it is to treat your people right, do your people right. You know, so mind you, this particular family member has been a boss before, right? And by me knowing some of the people that she used to work with, her good friend, I had to check him. He was saying nobody liked her, you know, because they said she know how to talk to people. They said she know how to treat people. And I'm like, look, calm down, you know, da-da-da, you know. I know she could be something else at time, but they're still my peoples, you know, da-da-da, right? So, and I don't give a fuck when I hear people say nobody likes this person, because sometimes it's just people following the masses. But anyway, so nonetheless, so we was on the phone or whatever, and I was just telling her how I'm just gonna be different. You know, I'm not gonna be one of those people that get a little power and, you know, just let it go to my head. You know, I'm not gonna be that kind, right? So, you know, she got mad and was being very dismissive and cutting me off, and as usual, you know, ever since I was little. And, you know, I don't, you know, and I brought up a couple of examples of how on certain jobs of how, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna be like that person, or I'm not gonna be like that person. I'm not gonna do people like that, you know. And she was just being very dismissive. Why you bringing up old shit? Da-da-da. And I'm like, you know, this is exactly, I brought up another family member that I don't fuck with. But one particular thing that he said that I do agree with, she's not a good listener. And she's not. She's not. And I brought it up and she got pissed off. And she was like, why you bringing that up? And I said, because he was right. And I don't fool with him. But that's one thing he said that was true. You are not a good listener. And when it comes to other people's feelings, you are very dismissive. And I told her how I felt. I said, and that's exactly, I'm not going to be that type of boss. Because like I told her, I said, if you treated your people like that down there, that's probably why they felt that way towards you. Because I done cussed a couple of my bosses out behind that kind of stuff. A couple of them. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all, when I tell you I had one lady scared to come out the building, she had called the police. She was so scared I was going to whoop her ass. And I ain't even tell her I was going to whoop her ass. I said I should whoop your ass. But I ain't tell her I was going to whoop her ass. I said I should. Okay? But when I tell you I had that lady so scared to come outside, when I tell you I was home, I had them people calling me, asking me where was I on the property. I had been left, but she had heard about a fight that I had back in high school. And one of the guys that was working down there was telling her, you know how people sit around talking about fights and stuff. So, y'all, when I tell y'all that lady was scared to come outside, I was home on my couch, sitting in front of my fireplace. You know what I'm saying? And them people was calling me, asking me where was I on the property. You know, so I'm not saying that people are justified with talking to my family member like that. But what I'm saying is, you know, people just got feelings. It's the way you do people. You know, it's just, I'm gonna be better than that. And by no means am I justifying the way somebody talked to my family member. But I'm just saying, you know, we just have to be mindful of how we treat people and how we do people. You know, that's all. So this particular family member got upset, hung up the phone. You know, people hate hearing the truth. I'm like, you know, what I don't fool with them people. But that's one thing that I do agree with, that they said, very dismissive, a poor listening skills, you know, cut cross you. But this particular family member been this way since I was little. Been that way since I was little, you know. And I love her to pieces. You know. But I mean, sometimes, like I told you that when I was little. And that's one thing, my thoughts have never changed about that. You've been that way since I was little. You know. And like people tell me, you know, that's not going to change. You know, I know she has my best interest at heart, but, you know, that's how I feel. And I can't help how I feel. I feel how I feel, you know. But other than that, it ain't about me constantly bringing up the past. It's about me stepping into a new endeavor. And, you know, with my head held high and my chin up, you know, because, of course, you have to know the job, but you also have to embrace the people as well. Because if you don't embrace the people and the people don't embrace you, that can make your job very difficult, you know. And I want to step in there considering all aspects, the people, the job, the place, the things. You see what I'm saying? People, place, and things. You know, it's very important. You can't just know your job and come in there and just treat people any kind of way. Just like you could treat people like gold, but you got to know the job as well. These two things go hand in hand, you know. But nonetheless, like I told this particular family member, this is why I used to get my feelings hurt growing up, because I couldn't come to you about certain things. So I used to go to others, and that's why they used to hurt my feelings, because the things that I should have been talking to you about, I went and talked to other people, and they did not have my best interest at heart. And anytime I bring that up, she gets upset. She gets upset, why you bringing up the past? Because it's the truth, and the truth hurts. A lot of people don't want to accept it, but it is what it is. And has you been there a little more, it's more than just buying me shit, clothes, shoes. It's about being there for my mental and my spiritual as well. Maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't have got my feelings hurt so much. But I digress.